Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of the Polynesian Podcast, sponsored by Livasa Island Apparel. Check them out, put on for the culture, and catch the wave. www.livasaislandapparel.com. Mike out here repping, got the Livasa.
Always. This is my favorite sweatshirt.
I am Lance Falitongo.
I'm Mike Fiso.
Oh, shit. Go. Oh, you good. You good. Fourth overlap, I think.
Oh, we're Spider-Person. Oh, that's a great place to start. So am I. Yeah. Are we all in the trilogy here in accordance? All right. What is new this week? We got a couple of different things to talk about. The latest is this submarine that's gone missing. How long has that been happening? Like a day or two now? They're running out of oxygen. What is going on?
They got enough oxygen for 1 week.
And that was 5 days ago?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think so. The dude's from here, Washington. Like one of these Everett, I think. He's worried. And he's in the boat too.
Of course he is.
For people that don't know or might not have seen it by now, there's a lot of news for a submarine kind of submerging tour to see the Titanic. $250,000 a seat to go down and see the research stuff that they're pulling out of.
Not even a seat, bro. They're sitting on the floor.
Oh yeah, it's a weird little tin tank that they sent down there.
The Titanic sunk. What? That's your first red flag. You're gonna go down to see a ship that sunk years ago in something that looks like a tic tac to a dinosaur. No.
Also, with the ocean being like the last unexplored territory in this world, and we don't know what's down there after a certain depth, bro. And I'm not trying to find out. You see that one like tanker video where it's a big ass storm in the middle of the ocean and it's a huge boat, but it's being tossed around like a little thing. You see waves hundreds of feet high, and you're just like, I'm not trying to go out into that. But that's where all the monsters live.
Right.
But they're going down. They're paying money to dive down there and take a look. And now 5 or 6 people haven't been heard from. One of them's a
billionaire.
Yo, okay.
I mean, and they got a 19-year-old down there. That's sad. Him and his dad are down there, so that's crazy.
There's a rich father and his son. There's another billionaire. There's the guy that owns it. Or he's also the operator.
Bro.
They were showing videos of like how this thing was put together and what controls it and how it moves.
There's a lot of bad decisions.
It looks like one of those mini homes that you buy on Amazon.
Bro,
and then you drive it with a cheap ass controller, bro. It's a $24.99 bootleg. It's like the controller you give your friends when they come over. You know what I'm saying? The Mad Cats.
I thought it was a Dreamcast like controller, PlayStation controller. It was just, I don't know.
And that's how you drive it. Like there's no steering wheel. There's no who's great? Like that's a dumb idea. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that was dumb. They were communicating through text message. Like that's dumb.
Yeah, this thing is so it's definitely something that really went bad. Well, it was already a bad idea in the first place, executed poorly and not up to standard for something at this depth. And then so we're at logically where you would get when you didn't follow a bunch of rules and like penny pitched for a bunch of shit.
I hope they're okay though.
Yeah, they got 2 more governments looking for them, so I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully that is taken care of and they're all okay. Yeah. We want those people.
I don't know if you guys remember Sequest, but if the submarine I'm going on doesn't look like it's from the show Sequest, I'm not getting on it.
What is that?
Oh, it's a show back in like the early 90s where futuristic, like the super most futuristic submarine ever.
Sequest.
Yeah. I mean, their whole thing was, how the ocean is the last unexplored thing. So that was their thing. They would just explore the ocean.
I agree with that.
Captain Nemo's submarine from A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Or that.
I'll get up in that one.
As long as Captain Nemo's in it too.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, hopefully those guys are okay, and I think we got another day or two of oxygen left. That's a little scary. Anyway,
yeah. Hopefully they get found.
Moving on from that news.
Speaking of the father and son, happy Father's Day!
Right. Oh, okay.
Hey,
I got to spend it with
his dad.
Ariel and the Little Mermaid.
What did you guys do for Father's Day this last weekend? Any trips or time spent with the family?
Oh yeah, I headed up to Federal Way to see my pops. Hang out with them. It was good food, like always. So hang out with them. Yeah, hung out with my dad, make sure he was okay, and then headed to the Catch a Fire and Fia concert, which was
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was really dope. It was really dope. Shout out to my brother Junior Louvu, who copped the tickets. We went down there, hung out with him, got to hang out with oh man, what a great guy. Jelani Tavai from the Patriots was there. With his girlfriend and their family. So we got to hang out with him. He's such a great dude, man. He's a dope dude. And also we bonded on Demon Slayer, so we're talking about that over there. That was dope. Got one of the guitarists for Fia is a homie. Shout out to Eddie. Eddie, he played there. Got to see him. DJ Loose Screws was there. Got to conversate with him and some of the boys from the Pacific Northwest Cabo Club.
Yeah. Nice.
So there was my guy Tana. Shout out to Tana. Great crowd too, man. They were all feeling it. Catch a Fire was, I don't know if they were saying this is their last US tour ever or their show ever or their last US show at the end of this tour, and then they're gonna restart. But they announced that that night. So show was good. Nice. Yeah, Father's Day was good. That was good Father's Day.
Nice. So what you, Mike?
Yeah, just hung out with my parents, went to my parents' house. I have siblings that are still in high school, so
they did all the work.
Yeah, pretty much. My sister bought a bunch of burrito tacos.
Nice.
Fire, and yeah, had some dessert. My sister announced that she was gonna commit to Oregon to play basketball.
Hey, congratulations! I saw that. That's dope.
We were all super pumped about that, and yeah, it was a great day. What about you, Lance? How was your Father's Day? They show out?
Oh man, yeah, we tried to go to IHOP. Oh man, there is a line at IHOP. Let me tell you this. This is my first Father's Day, like trying to go out as like a dad that had like a kid. Now that she's moving around, last year was technically my first Father's Day, but she was only like 2 months old. Baby's still like a potato, doesn't move around much. Right. But so this was our first Father's Day where we were gonna go out and do stuff. We pulled up to IHOP. It's a line out the door. So we got some McDonald's and went to Target. Just vibing over there on the edible, just chilling, rolling with the family, hung out, came back to the house, watched some movies, played some games, and I just hung out with baby and Sammy. It was dope, good time. And then trying to line up some other stuff this weekend, go watch some movies, go out and take the girl either to the park or to you ever heard of Enchanted Forest down in Salem?
Yeah,
it's like an Oregon Disneyland.
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh yeah! Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Not only that, I mean, I guess Disneyland, but they also say that it's a little haunted. So I don't know if Disneyland would be the right word, but
Disneyland has to be haunted.
Oh yeah.
So many workers have probably died there. We have no idea.
I mean, totally off the subject. I was watching a clip the other day of was it Russia that they closed one of the Disney resorts, or like actually it was a park, theme park in I think Russia, and they were filming and they watched the Snow White statue jump off and walk towards them. And I was like, oh, why would you be in there if it's abandoned? Like, why? What are you doing?
That sounds scary as shit. When did you, man? See, I didn't. See, this proves actually Sammy's point. I didn't think it was a big thing because it looks like a little side of the, side of the road attraction. It's like a
You're right.
local thing. But a lot of people that I talked to have either been by it, been to it, been through it. Wait, what caused you to go to Enchanted Forest, Mike? Was it
It was a basket. I was with my AAU basketball team. We had a tournament
Oh,
in Oregon,
definitely.
and that was close to where we were staying. And they were like, "So you guys want to go to the theme park?" And of course, I'm like, "Hell yeah! I love that kind of shit. I love roller coasters.
Yeah.
I love the games. I love fair corn dogs. That's like my go-to. I don't know
Yeah.
what they put in the batter or when they deep fry it, but it always is like the perfect corn dog. But I don't like hot dogs, so it's kind of my weird thing.
It's gotta be in cornbread.
Yeah, deep fried,
Right.
all
Yep,
that.
yep, yep.
But yeah, so it was cool. We have something similar to that. It's called Enchanted Village. So I guess that's
Maybe
just what we're calling our theme parks up here in the Pacific Northwest.
somebody
Enchanted Place.
somebody ran away from the enchanted forest. It's like, you know what I'm gonna build?
I'm gonna make a village.
My girl, she grew up in Salem in that area, and I think it was like really big growing up for her. So it's always fun kind of going there with her and seeing her kind of light back up, like seeing it
That's
as
dope.
through her eyes as like a
Yeah.
kid. She's like, "Oh, and this is the big witch statue that you can crawl through," and now we have a kid that's gonna like re-experience all those things for her. I'm excited. I'm very happy that that connection and thing is gonna happen. I really
Yeah,
need to work on
definitely.
my words. Um, being Father's Day, I was wondering if I could pick your guys' brains on your experience with your dads and what you think makes a good dad. Like for people listening, and myself for like this last year, like my first year of fatherhood, it's a lot of just trying to be patient and understanding and helpful. But it's also feels like I'm flying blind and don't really know what to do. So I really like asking other people what's your lived experience of something and trying to work from that. So uh Forrest, what do you think is makes a good dad? Like what's a good trait or that you've seen?
Man, if you're able to buy me all the shoes, no, I'm just kidding.
Like, look,
You
purchasing
Spoil
power.
me.
yeah, man. Just give me the credit card. We're good, man.
Best
No,
dad ever.
I think the trade I think the traits differ um from whether you have a boy or a girl, I think.
Ooh,
You
okay.
know, I just especially coming from like a Polynesian family, like Polynesian family, I think usually the father's supposed to show you how to be a man, show you how to take care of family, be the backbone of your family, and yeah, really show you the ropes of because one day you're gonna be the one that takes care of the family. So he's got to show
Yeah.
you how to take care of everything. I personally think that your father should always be there to back your kid up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
For me, it was great. Um, my dad. You can tell my dad nothing. Like we weren't. It's not like we weren't close then, but like my dad worked and I did a lot of sports when I was younger, or I was just out with my friends. But when I got older, I realized how much my dad had my back through everything. Like you know, people are going to talk about you as a kid, you know what I mean, as you're growing up. But my dad never wavered. My dad was always there. Like, couldn't tell him. He wasn't blind, he knew that there was things that I did I shouldn't be doing, but he was always there to back me up no matter what. And I'm pretty sure if no matter what hard times come now, my dad's always going to be there.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
yeah. And for girls, I think it's tough. Dads are a little softer on their girls. Um, like as you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you had a son, you even just playing with them, you'd be a little rougher. You know,
I will.
uh,
Let me just say, I try not to. I try not to
see,
be a
it's
difference.
right. It's
I tr-
hard, but
I throw her
yeah,
just as high as if I would as if she were a boy. There you
right.
go.
And especially like girls are always gonna with their moms, I guess, because maybe they'll butt heads a little bit more. And girl dads are supposed to be there to, console your daughter, be the good guy. And so I heard a lot of people say that this week. Is like, you know what? Fine. I'll tell them they can't go. I'll be the bad guy. And it's usually like one of the women in my family telling the girls they can't go somewhere, they can't do something, and then the dad's just like, well, just it's your mom now. But, trying to console them. But at the same time, he's trying to make things good. And he usually goes over the line sometimes and just be like, you know what? You go ahead. I'll talk to your mom. But he's also the guy that if you ever touch his daughter, you better be really fast, or be able to disappear. Because I know fathers, when it comes to their daughters, if you ever hurt their daughter, there's nothing they wouldn't go through to make their daughters feel safe again. There's I think that's what a father does for their kids. Ultimately, the best thing their father can do is always have them know that no matter what they go through, their dad's gonna be there. And at the same time, like they wouldn't hesitate to go through hell to make their kids feel safe or be safe again. Those are the traits of a father. Yeah.
Some sacrifice, some protector, guider, show the boys how to be men.
How to do the same thing, for the women in their family. And that's big on, like, with us in our culture, is to know that, like, the boys in your family are always going to take care of the women in the family, especially your sisters.
I feel like we raise the girls to do a lot of taking care of the men too. But
for sure.
But no, I see.
For sure.
Those are kind of different.
Yeah.
Taking care of, like, protecting and providing and on that. All right, nice. Mike, what are some examples that you can give of that you've seen maybe from your dad, or traits you think make a good dad?
Honestly, when I was a little kid, I could just see from how everyone else interacted with my dad that he was cool as shit. Like, everybody rocked with him tough. He was like a hooper. He's like super athletic, hella funny.
Nice.
So just like seeing how other people reacted to him, I was like, okay, that's kind of what I'm trying to be like when I get big or whatever. And he was like, so I always looked at him. I was like, damn, this guy's strong. He's strong as shit. And he knew he was a black belt in Taekwondo. So it was like, it was over if I ever started acting up. And I came to realize that at a real young age. I was like, I gotta get some training or something. This guy's a black belt in Taekwondo. Like, literally, my first memory I have of him is I'm like 2 or 3, and he's at a Taekwondo tournament, and he has to fight this guy that's 7 feet tall. And my dad knocked him out, and like he like kicked him in the air, like brought his leg straight up and popped him in the jaw, and then brought it right back down on the same jaw and just KO'd the guy. And then my dad was so hyped that he punched the ground and shattered his hand, and then he had to retire from that. And I was just like, damn, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So it's like, I feel like you want to be like a superhero to your kids, you, like Forrest was saying, like, you want to feel safe around your parents. You want to feel protected. You want to feel loved. And I feel like my dad did a good job of that. And then, like, when I was a freshman in high school, my parents had twins. So a boy and a girl twins. And that was like, they were both working. So, I had to step up. I'm the oldest, got to change a lot of diapers, feed them, do everything.
Yay.
And so like, you do kind of raise them a little different, because I definitely was more rough with my brother than my sister, but I was like, all right, we'll just all play together. And then I was able to like impact their lives by showing them what I thought was cool. Like, I put them on Naruto right when they were able to like read. I was like, all right, we're gonna learn how to read subtitles. And Avatar. So I was always like, felt like I was in control of their content. And seeing them now at like 17, junior, senior in high school, it's definitely still in their blood. You know what I'm saying? Like,
those seeds you planted.
Like I was a part of it. Yeah, they're blossoming. Exactly.
Bro, this is. I heard. I think it was. I forget his name. He's like a controversial right wing guy. Jordan Peterson.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah,
One of his clips is
psychologist.
like, uh, you know, people are scared of having like lots of kids because they're like, how am I going to take care of 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids? But after a while, the kids start taking care of the kids. So it's
Yeah.
not like having to take care of like a full new child, 100% take care of. It becomes like the oldest takes care of these guys, well, everybody, and then they start kind of creating their own little
Right.
care circles, family,
You,
and they,
you, you must have lived next to someone's.
or it's like, just something that's noticed over large families. Um, I would agree with that. Like in Samoa, cousins, families, if you're living together, they're basically watching over you, taking care of you,
Right.
until the
In
parents get home or off of work or whatever.
in my head, the term "it takes a village" really derived from Polynesian families.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of people willing to, do a little, take care, doing their part to make sure that their family or community.
But
Um,
shout out to Mike's dad because that's a really good trait too to know that everything Mike just said. Like I speak about like my father like that, but Mike just said like literally his dad's like the coolest to him growing up. And if your kid can go out and tell kids like, yo, my dad's the coolest, you know what I mean? Like you're doing a really good job because
Mhm.
you don't hear a lot of kids tell people like, hey, my dad's cool. I want to hang out with my dad. So that's dope. I didn't know your dad was Huarang from from what is the fighting game? Oh my gosh.
Which was Street Fighter,
Nah,
Killer Instinct,
Tekken.
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 They had the Taekwondo dude from Korea and
Yep,
that and
exactly. I know exactly what you're
Huarang.
talking
You
about.
described that. That fool said he kicked him in the chin and then dropped his heel and hit him in the head again. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
bro. I was like,
Tekken.
what the?
And then the most Samoan injury ever celebrating.
It's too much. It's too hyped. He had enough energy for a whole fight, and it was over in 10 seconds.
That's funny.
All right, so your dad, I mean, it sounds like your dad's a cool ass dude, and still to this day, and that you got that from him, and you're passing that on to the rest of your family members.
Yeah,
So being cool, being
yeah,
like a
and a hooper,
superhero.
man. He like literally, he was like, "I want you guys all to play basketball," and I was like, "I don't want to, Dad. That's too damn."
Damn bad. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Get your hand on the line.
Get your hand on the line.
Yeah.
Exactly, but yeah, that like it's paying dividends. Like I was a scholar more than a baller, so I went to school for that. But like all my other siblings achieved higher education through basketball, so
Nice.
it's pretty dope.
Here, college is expensive.
Yeah, it is. Jeez Louise.
What are we ballparking a 4-year degree at? What would you guys think? How much does that cost? Tuition?
At Gonzaga, for
Right.
me,
Yeah.
it was 40,000 a semester. Bro.
Wait, how many semesters? There's 2 semesters? There's 3
Yeah, you need
semesters?
8 semesters. Do the math. It's
Damn. All right, so
an arm and a
320.
leg. Yeah, for a private school
Jeez.
education, though, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for connections.
Oh, okay. People you're gonna meet, classmates,
Yeah.
teachers, groups, and then you're able to kind of build out different stuff
Yeah.
you want to do through that. Nice.
Yeah, but I got a public school. It's probably like that a year, maybe that over a couple years.
Okay. Okay. So 75,000 maybe local
Yeah,
in state.
but
Oh
yeah,
man.
scholarship free.
I saw that less people are signing up for college. Like fewer people are deciding to go to college.
Makes sense.
Because it costs a lot, because people don't think degrees really find high paying jobs like that anymore. Whatever the reason, what are do you guys know, like, can you guys think of any effects that's gonna cause?
I
Are we gonna get dumber?
no, I think enrollment in
No.
trades would probably increase, like
Okay.
plumbers, carpenters, electricians. Because if you go that route, you do 2 years and then you're making good money, usually a union job. Whereas your 4-year degree, it really depends on what you're going for too. Like you're going to be like accountant, doctor, like those kind of jobs. Yeah, that's fun. But if you're trying to go for like art,
Yeah, I feel
unfortunately, it's like, is it worth it to do that? I'd rather just make art, blow up on the internet, and then like
use that money to start your art, to grow your art instead of trying to learn about it. I mean, I guess there's techniques and different classes that you can
This is,
learn.
that's the thing though. I mean, you can literally go on and find a certified teacher on YouTube who's teaching you the same thing that they're going to teach you at a college. I'm not saying that he's better than the teachers at the college or the
No.
education that you're paying for, but I mean, if you go that route, or even there's teachers out here who are teaching classes, they're not with a certified school or anything like that, offering their services. There's a lot of people now trying to go that route and teach kids without them having to pay the millions or thousands of dollars that they're paying for something that basically is free in some countries. Like, is it Switzerland? I think that if your local school's free for you, college is free.
Through college,
Yeah, there's
or
some
at least
European.
community college.
Right. There's European countries where they don't charge you for college. I know there's a bill here that we're trying to pass. Who was it? I think it was Sanders trying to pass a bill to get
Oh yeah.
free college for kids out here. And you think about that, I mean, you send these kids to college for free, and I mean, it'll come back to the government. You just have them work for you for a little bit, good trade off, kind of like football scholarship, pretty much. So I think people dropping, like, not dropping out of college, going a different route besides the conventional way, which is these universities that have been around for the whole time. I think there's other ways of learning the same things that you're going to learn in the college classroom these days that we didn't have back in the day, where you really thought to yourself, man, well, I'm going to further myself if I'm going to be more than some dude that works at a warehouse or anything like that. You were taught that you had to go to school, and that's not the case anymore. So I think that's a big part of why the numbers have dropped. I mean, alternate learning, pretty much.
Yeah, there's definitely other ways to get the information. And
Yeah.
with you're saying, like, people are posting it on YouTube how to do certain things, and if you
Yeah.
had like a syllabus or stuff that you didn't know you needed to know kind of listed out, then you really could just go and find that information on the internet. But
Yeah.
like Mike's saying, you get those connections from being in that environment with those
Right.
people. You do kind of get years and years of experience on how to teach these things to students like yourself. Well,
Definitely.
hopefully you get that kind of that built-in experience from the school and the teachers. But
yeah, I also think it's
Like-
the price point too. Is
Oh, for
like
sure.
like back in the day, like our grandparents and maybe even parents, like it didn't cost that much to go to school. Like it was like $1,000. Everything was cheap as shit back then. But now we got to pay like all this money, and meanwhile the jobs don't pay you shit. So you got to work like 5 times as hard
yeah,
for the same degree. But actually, this degree is actually worth more because of over time, like in technology and everything. Like you're actually learning more now than you were back then. So yeah, it just doesn't seem like a fair trade to bury yourself in debt
Man, I could
Yeah.
barely
to go
afford
work at
my books in
McDonald's and
college.
Starbucks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Instead of paying towards that, but I don't want to be I don't want to be the people telling people not to go to school.
No, hey,
But
I'm a firm believer that school definitely isn't for some people. It's also a way of learning.
yeah,
So, there's a lot of successful people out here who didn't go that route, like straight to college. I mean, they probably worked a little harder, but they still got to where they wanted to get. Heads of companies or people who own their own businesses. I mean, there's guys. If we're talking about sports too, there's guys who went like community college route because they didn't want to have to pay for just to go and showcase
Yeah.
their athletic abilities. So, but like Mike said, even trade schools have been around for a long time, and you know, I know once you become a plumber, even if you're just an apprentice plumber, you're still making a really good amount of money, even though you're probably paying into the union first that they're part of. But to make that kind of money while you're like an apprentice as well, and then you get like a $5 raise once you're certified and you start going out on your own as a plumber. That's super appealing for kids too, and you can make your own hours. So
That's a good point that you guys bring up. That it's not just that people aren't going to college; there are other options for other learning and training that are probably being used. So yeah, it's not like we're gonna fall off as a country, right? Because
I mean,
I will.
motherfuckers don't want to work. That's the
No.
thing.
they want to do their shit.
Want to chill, bro.
Recently,
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of like Eastern Hemisphere countries getting together and building a new currency so that everyone can move away from the dollar, and it's like a lot of really big ones: Russia,
Terrorists, bro.
India, South America,
China.
It's a bunch of big hitters that have their own like money, reserves, workers, systems, economies, that are getting together. And like, I mean, I don't know a whole bunch about economics, but it just seems like if we're using less of the dollars, it's going to be bad for our country. And then people are going to start doing crazy shit out there.
You mean crazier shit?
crazier shit out there. But it's just going to get blown all out of proportion, even though it's going to be wild. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts about that, if any?
It's scary, man, because literally that's what we thrive on out here is the dollar. And America's been so powerful because of the dollar itself. So to think that, I mean, all you can do is adapt, right?
Right, but how are we going to adapt with like less business? I don't know. I feel like I'm going to move out of this country at some point. But I feel like I used the first 30 years like, America! I love this shit! Just have to go somewhere that we're not going to get shot. We can have jobs that afford houses and shit. Right. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm like, America's number one. You guys remember that? I don't know. It was a TV show. I think it was on Apple, but it was Aaron Sorkin, and he was like on a panel on a stage at a college, and they were like, "What makes America number one?" And someone's like, "Freedom," and the other guy's like, military or something. And then they asked this guy, and he was like, "America's not number one. We haven't been number one for a long time. We're last in education, last in health, last in this." And he just starts naming off a bunch of different things that are statistically we trail. And I feel like 10 years later now, a bunch of that shit is blossoming. Those seeds that we didn't plant, we're fucking seeing the effects of that now. And people are just wiling out.
I was working the other night, and these two dudes walked into the bar. I mean, you can guess what they look like. But right before they left, because the whole time they were having a beer there, they kind of looked like they weren't disgusted, but they were just like looking around the bar and seeing the diversity in the bar, and they weren't with it. But they were getting up. They were polite. And the last thing he said to me before he walked out is America not the greatest country in the world? I was like, it could be. And so he stopped. Good conversation. It wasn't like, no, I didn't feel any animosity, and he didn't take any from me. So, but he was like, so is there another country you'd rather live in? I told him my own. And he's like, where are you from? I said, American Samoa. He said, why are you not there now? Because your government made it impossible for me to find a job there. And he was like, so you'd rather live here? Right. So you'd rather live here? I was like, no, I'd rather live in my own country. He said, so why don't you live there? Because your government made it impossible for me to live there.
This sounds heated.
He was cool. We were calm. And then he was like, well, we can agree to disagree. We were laughing. I was like, great. But I really do think America is the greatest country in the world. And then that's why everybody wants to come live here. I was like, I mean, you have a point. But I mean, that's just to the point of like how you said that the show went on. There's a lot of people who still live in this country who think that America is the greatest country in the world, and there's nowhere else you'd rather live. But
people want to come here because it's better than other countries. It's better. It might be better than other situations, and
Right.
like you come up, but I think it's because you can just come here, and if you work, you can start making money, and it's because it's a capitalistic society. You can be a
Right.
worker and cash in.
Or you can
And
get
if you
welfare.
have your kids here, then they're Americans, so you're fucking locked in.
Right.
Boom, and
Right.
then you're
And then
solid.
they can do something like because without like social
Yeah.
security numbers and being like a real citizen, like you could
Yeah.
just work. But that's usually the mentality. I think that's why America is kind of dope like that. That you can come here, but it takes like a generation or two to find
Up
success if you are going to find success.
to get planted.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you got
Yo,
Americans.
okay. That's like that deferred. What is it? Deferred gratitude, where you plant the seeds, but you're not going to enjoy the shade. But
Yeah,
that's the type of sacrifice that people are making for their future families, for their kids,
Amen.
because shit's like so bad where they are that they're like, well, I'm not. We don't have a future here. We don't have a safe like home here. But I'm gonna fucking risk my life to get somewhere where I don't care how I have to do it. My family's gonna be okay. Yeah, I get that.
yeah. It's like dealing with racists is way easier than
Right.
Yeah,
Right. No, yeah.
whatever we got going on back home.
people shooting
Like,
up through your farm, taking all your shit. Yeah, I'd rather just come here and walk away from some fucking asshole yelling
right.
at me.
The
Just walk
yeah,
away.
the difference between a bomb dropping on your house, killing your whole family, than you getting like you said, Lance, a couple words thrown at you somewhere out here. I think I'll take the words.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll take the words.
Sticks and
Yeah.
stones may break my bones.
But I'm starting to see like, not to get too much back into America's crumbling, but like if we're gonna have to do that for our kids and like move to a different, safer situation, like oh, um, Cefa was talking from the Polytechnic podcast was talking about he lives in Canada now and he can go to the supermarket without worrying about getting like shot.
Blasted.
Yeah,
Right.
and he was like, "That's a whole different day for my mental health, bro. I'm a whole different person. I'm like, I'm not fucking jittery when I go outside and shit. When I go to the store, it's just a whole new life." And I'm like, am I just a product of like social media or the algorithm pushing shit into my feed or bombarding my brain that it's a dangerous place? Or am I seeing like mass shootings every week? And I'm like, oh, I should get out of here before that shit happens to us. Says I don't,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a target fucking ducking my
Mhm.
family out the back door and shit.
I think it's a
Yeah.
combination of both. So I was driving when I drove back to Federal Way on Sunday. I stopped at the Safeway, literally 3 minutes from my
Oh,
sister's house,
bruh.
and I saw Samoan family. They in a parking space, and I wasn't paying too much attention. I had my music up, and then I parked. I turned around, and they had a whole bunch of candles in the parking space. Flowers and stuff like that. So they had a vigil. My sister was telling me last week, Friday, there was a shooting there.
Yeah.
Three Samoans, two in the hospital. I think one confirmed dead, and then the other two I think are still in the hospital now. An argument with another Samoan guy. He turned himself in. Um, but that's scary. That's the reality. And Federal Way is supposed to be one of the safer places out in like Washington. Like that side of Washington. Um, but that is people's realities like that live out here. Like Sepho was saying, it's crazy that he feels that way in Canada. That what I mean, like there's no worry for him to go out there. But his past situation where he lived, like Sacramento, maybe even when he was in Hawaii, that he had to look over his shoulder, just going to the store to buy some. And in Sepho's community too, people know Sepho, and they know that he don't gangbang. He raps, and even in his raps, like all his lyrics, it's a lot about positivity and what I mean, changing your situation. So the fact that he feels unsafe when he has to go to the store, I mean, yeah, that's a wake up call. You know what I mean? Like you said, that's that the fact that you might have to move to another country just to feel safe. Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I familiar with that situation. Um, it's not like my homies, but it was like homies, you know.
Right. I
Damn.
mean,
And
hey, you're still connected. Yeah.
it just was crazy to me that it was like poly on poly, right? I thought we were past all that. Like I was never think that it'd be like that. Like maybe like Meuli versus poly or white dude versus poly, but I was like poly on poly. That's so strange, so
That was
weird.
very surprising to hear you say that. That it was another poly that shot him.
Yeah, and then yeah, two people they passed away, Simeon and Brandon, I think.
Also, too. Yeah. Okay. And then the
Yeah.
other one, the other guy is still in ICU right now. So, I,
Um,
I mean, it's shocking to us, especially like in this day and age. Like a lot of the parties are more united than they were back in the day. But for people who grew up in California, like poly on poly crime wasn't like it wasn't far. Like you could believe it because especially the tension that Samoans and Tongans had towards each other, like
truth.
in the early '90s in California. And then now, I mean, you can still see some of the tension between some of these guys. Even, um, in California, you're separated by color. It's not family. Anywhere else, I mean, family means a little bit more than gang colors, but uh, gang colors and gangs itself originating from LA cities, you know, it wasn't too uncommon to see poly on poly crime. So,
Facts. When I was in high school from 2005 to 2009, yes, I'm old. Uh, the we had UW put on this event every year called Polyfest. Every year we would skip school to go to Polyfest just to fight the Tongan kids. I don't know
see,
why. I don't like they didn't.
right.
I just I
You
want to
just say,
fight. I'm
I don't
I'm
know
going.
going
why.
too. I'm going.
I'm going.
Come
Fuck it.
in.
My white
Yeah.
mom's gonna have to stitch me back up, but yeah, there was always that little beef, you
Yeah.
know. But like in the last 10 years, I would say at least it was like the Toko Uso movement, the poly
Yeah.
movement. I
Yeah.
was all
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
together, and then let's beef with everyone else, man. Don't beef with each other, man.
Right.
It's crazy. And I think last summer, one of the homies that I used to go to church with, he was also shot by another Polynesian. Uh,
Yeah.
so it's just like I'm tired of having to feel like I have to keep my head on the shoulder swivel, you know,
Yeah.
like I'm always looking like if someone's about to start arguing and beefing, oh, time to go.
Yeah.
Time to go. Especially
Right.
like if I'm with my girlfriend now or well, with friends, you know, I'm like always in like
Yeah.
protector mode. But that's lame that we have to even live like that.
Yeah.
It's because somebody probably has a gun, and we know that. So we're like running numbers and statistics in our head, and we're like, probability. I got to get out of here. Hey, everybody, out, out, out.
That's literally when me and Jude, when we walked into the concert, before we walked in, we parked like maybe a block away, so we're walking there, and we were telling each other, it's like, bro, all right, when you hear the usual warning signs, we're gonna grab everybody and we're gonna start making our way to the door. You know what I mean? It's like one or two choo-hoos, we're good. You start hearing like 4 or 5 consecutively, and there's no music playing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Or you hear oh, shovels, and then you hear things like that. And all right, grab everybody we came with. Let's get closer to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At working at the clubs and stuff, even though it's like loud and there's hella music, you can kind of see when a fight's about to go down.
Yeah.
Like things change. People you see people kind of perk up a little bit.
Tense up a
Like,
little. Yeah.
everyone kind of straightens up a little bit, and like people start looking at a certain thing. There are definitely signs that an altercation is about to happen. Maybe we could talk about de-escalating after finally do the bouncer tales about de-escalating. What else do we have? Wrestling. Jimmy and Jey Uso are out of this Roman Reign bloodline. The Usos fucking super kicked the shit out of Roman Reign.
Man, you know what
Roman
that creates,
Reigns,
though?
sorry.
That creates a whole
Speaking of poly on poly.
family on family.
the Usos are no longer part of the bloodline, but they have a match set up for Money in the Bank in July.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what that creates. Whoever is managing all of them is great because that creates a set of superstars aside from the bloodline. You know what I mean? Besides Roman Reigns and his bloodline, now they can, they're superstars in their own right, but now they're not like together. You have two whole separate superstars now. Their team, the Usos, and now you have Roman Reigns. So I think it's good for our culture. I mean, it's not fun to watch. You don't want to see them fight, but and you have they're gonna. I think they're gonna be able to put a lot more people on now, and I know a lot of their family members are just entrenched in wrestling. We don't see them because they're probably in smaller circuits, but like that whole family is just from all the way from like Alpha and Sika, you know what I mean? Rikishi, Umanga, those guys are all real family. They're all blood related. And now you have Roman Reigns as well. The Onwati family, big in wrestling, so big in wrestling. I was making the joke to my cousin. I was like, oh well, I guess we're gonna see Reno now wrestling. They're gonna he's gonna be part of the Usos. Onwati. So I mean, if he wanted to, he could break into that too. He could sing, he could, and then break into wrestling. That'd be dope. But I think it gives a lot of more opportunities to other folks who are trying to break into that specific genre of entertainment. So that's
other poly wrestlers
right
are about to come up into this.
I think so.
Okay, I can see it.
Have you seen Rock's daughter wrestle yet?
Who's daughter?
I haven't seen her wrestle yet.
Oh no.
What is it? Ava Reigns?
Yeah,
Ava? Ava.
Simone Johnson.
I haven't seen her wrestle, but does she have a WWE contract already?
You would have think it'd be automatic, right? Hey, my dad said.
I think
my dad said.
Fourth generation WWE superstar.
Right,
it's gonna happen, or it's gotta.
Yeah.
The Rock was talking about how wrestling saved his life. His grandfather, High Chief Peter Maivia, his dad, Soul Man Rocky Johnson himself, and then also his daughter, who is now becoming a wrestler in her own right. People were like, "Why don't you take a name like your dad, like the Pebble or something?" I was like, "Oh, that's terrible. I would not want to be that." But yeah, I think it's Ava Reigns. I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her wrestle.
Like, that's my porn name.
The what? Oh, the Pebble.
Oh no, Ava Reigns sounds like a porn star.
Oh, Ava.
The Kava Rain.
Oh, Kava Reigns.
That'd be tight. I'd rock with that.
Right.
Watch, that's gonna be her name. I'm like, fuck. She lives
to the podcast.
Jimmy, do you think Jimmy and Jay are like heavyweight wrestlers, like individuals? I haven't seen them wrestle outside of tag team. So seeing them break away from Roman Reigns, and is this going to be like Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty 2 Hotty, who were like a great tag team, but I don't remember them separate. I don't remember. I don't even remember what it was. It Godfather, the Dogfather, and Badass Billy Gunn.
The whole train, that dude.
No. Oh, that was the Dogfather. Who the fuck am I thinking? The Road Dog Jesse James. Badass Billy Gunn. The New Age Outlaws.
I think the most successful people who left I saw leave a tag team was Matt Hardy. The
Hardy Boys?
Yeah, Dynamite Kid when he left the British Bulldogs. Of course, Shawn Michaels when he left the Rockers.
But okay, so I feel like Shawn Michaels, they started as the Rockers with that other guy, but then he became Shawn Michaels, right?
The Heartbreak Kid.
Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah.
Sweet Chin Music.
But see, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I will see it when I see it, and I'm gonna enjoy seeing the Usos be individual in their own thing outside of tag teams. But I mean, even this Money in the Bank match is a tag team match between the Usos and then Roman Reigns and Solo. Is it Solo?
I mean, I don't mind seeing them as a tag team and then maybe fight solo like here and there. But like, there's always been good tag teams. Sorry, that have like thrived. Like Legion of Doom. None of them really went solo, but they were always good as a tag team.
Yeah.
Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Great tag teams, right? But are they
Yeah.
also going to fight Roman Reigns for the title?
Nah,
And if they
I
do
think-
that individually, is it going to be Jimmy or Jay? And they
I mean-
are a little smaller than Roman, so is it? But
You
okay,
just-
we know that size doesn't matter in the
Right.
WWE.
You just created a whole new script for them. They could do that. So that one of them's gonna beat Roman Reigns and the other one's gonna get jealous, and then he's probably gonna join Roman Reigns again. That's a whole new script for them.
Yeah.
They could do a lot of things with what they just with how they're working now. So
Definitely
good.
a lot of different family dynamics, ties, and people that could be making these cameos. You guys were saying in the chat maybe Uncle Rock comes back. I was saying maybe Uncle Rikishi. I didn't know that Rikishi is the Usos' dad.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think it'd be funny
Yeah.
if they came out in his fit.
Oh,
Dun, dun,
I'm good. I'm good.
And then just
I
do
see-
that to Roman Reigns and like both of them at the same time.
I've
4
seen
cheeks, both sides. Boop, boop, boop.
I've seen enough ass from that family. I'm good.
Yo, that family had a big old ass on TV for years.
That was the
stink
that was the
face
most-
and so many
Right.
people.
Besides Sacco, that was one of the most disrespectful finishing moves.
It was. You're like, I
Bro.
pray this guy hasn't used the bathroom. That's what everyone wrestling. I pray.
This fool eats eggs and burritos right before his match.
Oh,
While you're in the corner and it's just shaking and he's just letting some. Bro, Vince McMahon, that was a good one.
Oh my gosh.
if you're trying to watch that Money in the Bank match, looks like it's a special start time Saturday, July 1st at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific.
Is that a pay-per-view?
Yeah, Money in
It
the
has
Bank
to be.
pay-per-view,
Yeah, it
streaming on Peacock.
What do they charge for that?
I
I remember
think
back in
it's
the day it was like
included.
$40, and I was like, "Wow, this is crazy."
If you have Peacock, you get it.
We're
Oh, it's
on.
included? Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Snaps.
So, well, actually, there's like a Peacock Premium. I'm not sure if it's like $7 a month extra for that or something,
It might
but
be like 14, yeah.
or whatever it
I
is.
mean-
But this is going to be on Peacock. Bloodline Civil War, Money in the Bank, Saturday, July 1st.
I'll be honest, I don't watch much wrestling these days, but
Neither do I, right?
growing up in Samoa, it would be like every Sunday. And the old WWF, it used to scare me. I love watching wrestling, but as a kid, I don't know why it scared me. I gotta ask my parents, but we'd all get together and we'd watch that. We'd watch like wrestling. Samoan families would gather every Sunday and watch it. And then the hurricane it was, but it messed up like the two channels that we had in Samoa, which was 4 and 2, actually 3, 4, 5, and 2. Then we only had 4 and 2. But then video shops, video rentals were big because people would literally wait in lines. Like they'd have like the latest movie that was out somewhere in the United States. People would bypass that videotape and wait for the WrestleMania videos. Like it was a big event. And then families that didn't have TVs in your village, you know what I mean? That's how it was back then. People would literally come to like sit outside of your house and your TV would be by the window. So like your neighbors could watch. And I mean, it was dope. I mean, nowadays, you think about it, if it was back then, people had the mentality nowadays, people would have been charging like $2 to sit outside my house and watch this. But I mean, that's how big wrestling is. And to have like, again, just going back to seeing these guys become superstars like that. And it's not just like the one someone like all you saw was like Peter Maivia, or then you'd have to wait for like Ricky Steamboat, who was from Hawaii. And the biggest one ever, I think, I was growing up, besides Alfonsico, was Jimmy Fly Snuka.
Snooker.
My gosh, man, to see
The
him jump off the
murderer?
rings, we were like, wow, why you gotta do my guy like that?
Bro, it's like, oh man, these people, they live for so long and they're humans that do shit.
Yeah, you forget that they're human sometimes, and
Yeah, but so hey, you had like this great childhood recognition and admiration of Jimmy Fly Snooker, right? And then you find out as an adult later he murdered his
right.
wife. Should that affect the good memories that you had of him? or is that something that you should be able to separate art from artist
You should
type
be
thing?
able to separate because like all the good memories there's still good memories for you, but at the same time you have to realize that the dude's human and he did commit a crime. So I mean, you can't put him on that same pedestal in life that he did as an entertainer.
So it matters.
Yeah.
Got it. Legacy. All that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Marcus Mariota is going to be in a Netflix special along with Patrick Mahomes and Kirk Cousins. This is coming out in July. I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I think it might just be the like off-season lulls. Like it's just camp time right now. Yeah. But definitely getting like a kind of a Hard Knocks film crew to follow around these quarterbacks. Already one of the greats, Patrick Mahomes, and then our guy Marcus Mariota, and to see the behind the scenes and how they train and how serious it is for them, and it's not just like talented guys throwing around. I'm sure it's going to be like the grind of it all, the grit, how it affects your family. Even like there's interviews from the spouses and other coaches and stuff. So yeah, really excited about that. I didn't. Did you guys see the previews? Any expectations for it?
I'm with Mike, man. Mike said the last time when Mike brought it up, the other episode, Mike was saying how it might shed some light on the Polynesian side of Marcus Mariota. Maybe he'll have like certain things like that come about. But I'm excited again because I'm super poly. But to have Marcus Mariota, you know what I mean?
Super like, poly.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I probably wouldn't watch it if it was just like Mahomes and see, I can't even remember who the third quarterback's supposed to be on it. And you just
Kirkland Cousins.
It's a regular guy.
That guy's not a quarterback, man. He's a game manager. But
it's a millionaire.
Yeah, that's true. But to you get to watch Marcus Mariota. I mean, in his own right, I think he's probably the greatest college quarterback I saw play. He was just anytime you saw him put on that Oregon uniform come on Saturday, you're like, oh, this guy's winning. He's gonna run for 100 yards, throw for 300, have like 6 touchdowns. That was your expectation of Marcus Mariota. Then you saw him what was it, like a 75-yard run? I think it's one of the favorite clips they show him at Oregon, and you were just amazed. You were sure this fool was gonna be like Patrick Mahomes in the NFL. That's what you were sure of. I mean, that's not his career path, or it hasn't been his career path, but he's been pretty good in the NFL, and I think he's going to be a starter again this year. Where's he at again?
No.
Atlanta?
No. He just moved.
Oh,
shoot. But he's not going to be the starter there. He's going to be the backup, but it's a good situation for him.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
Eagles, the Eagles.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. So I mean,
that's solid.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, and God forbid anything happened to Jalen Hurts, but
something already has.
What a guy in place to have to run the system.
Yeah.
Almost the exact same skill set. Probably a better thrower than Jalen Hurts, but you don't have to change your offense that much anymore for Marcus. So it's going to be interesting if we get to see that part. Like maybe he is preparing to be a starter if Hurts can't go early, and we get to see his preparation for that. That's going to be dope.
I'm saying Hurts missed some games at the end of last season, so there's definitely and him being a more mobile running quarterback.
Yeah,
you're just going to get hit more, just more opportunities to be injured, and where that backup quarterback, that quarterback too, has to always be ready. So for that to be Marcus. Also a mobile quarterback, but in a system that he's going to be able to get a bunch of practice reps and really learn and be able to.
They won't have to change
in.
Much between.
That too, because you see sometimes it's a totally different quarterback that comes in to fill in for the starter, and they just can't run the offense like that. Mike, anything else on that Netflix special that you want to see, or?
I'm interested to see what the life of Kirk Cousins is like. Man, he's so. Vanilla, white milk, fucking 2%. I don't know. I want to see what that's like. Like, what's going on? Like, how does he be thinking? Like, does he even give a fuck about football? Like, I
Right.
don't.
It's just a job to him.
He's-
It's just like something he
the-
does.
That's funny.
Also on the Patrick Mahomes side, I wonder if there'll be any Jackson Mahomes, the infamous.
Hell
Or,
no.
Isn't
what if
he
they're
in
like,
jail?
yeah, for like kissing somebody, I guess.
Sexual
Or,
assault. Yeah.
Yeah.
this
Shoving his
is-
tongue down some lady's
Bro,
throat. Ended
who
up
does
being
that?
the
Why would you
restaurant
do that if
owner.
your brother literally hooked your fucking life up? Why would you do anything to damage what he brought to the table? Like, it's so
Entitled.
ridiculous. Like, and he's like 6'8". That's the crazy part. Jackson Mahomes is huge.
Yeah.
is he?
He's a monster. He could have been in the league if he cared.
Yeah, if he cared about anything other than like fucking
Self.
God.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also glad it's not Patrick Mahomes that turned out that way because that would have been really shitty. At least it's the-
Smolder.
At least it's the dumb brother.
Man, yeah, Jackson Mahomes can fuck right off. God, so annoying. Just anytime I see him too, and I asked Luke this. I was like, is it just that we only see Jackson Mahomes when he's being an idiot? Is that why we hate him? Maybe he's like a good guy off of the gram. And he's like, fuck no, there's no way this is a good guy anywhere. This is a piece of shit. And now he's on camera shoving his tongue down people's throats and thinking he's cool. And he was like, what, you don't like that? You don't like how I sexually assault you? What, you weirdo? It's like, oh man, fuck off. Throw this
She's
guy
like,
in
no,
jail.
I don't like how your mouth tastes like dick.
Get it out.
When I look at him and Patrick's girlfriend, like one day we're gonna hear that they cheated on Patrick Mahomes with each other. I just look
Some
at those
weird.
two. Yeah.
They are.
They
It's like the
he-
Russell Wilson wife, kind of. That's
like,
what she
yeah,
reminds me
homies.
of.
Man, how did
The
you
Russell Wilson wife?
Oh yeah, you see Russell Wilson's
Oh,
OG
the first
wife.
one?
Like she was all freaking out with
Yeah.
that picture when he got called by the Seahawks. She's like, "We did
Yeah.
it."
Somebody,
Like-
I always see that picture throwback
So
to when
weird.
Russell's ex thought she was set for life.
And
That's
she
I mean,
smashed Golden Tate.
Sorry.
Broke the team. Broke up the band.
Yeah,
Oh.
like
Well,
yeah,
there you
that was,
go.
I mean, that's crazy. But it also last thing, like Patrick Mahomes, it'll be interesting to see how hard he goes during training. I know a lot of people think because he's a Super Bowl quarterback, MVP, that maybe he takes it easy. Like, I know there's a lot of people who have that misconception that these guys don't really train as hard as they do once they start making it. But like, you can't have the run that these guys have without putting
Yeah.
in major work, So it'll be cool to have people actually see him go hard at training and stuff like that.
Speaking of putting in major work, John Morant suspended 25 games by the NBA for again flashing a gun on Instagram Live, and he has apologized. Said he's going to be taking this time over the rest of the offseason in the first 25 games to do the work that he really, obviously needs to do. And he said sorry to his family, to his team, to Adam Silver, to the kids that look up to him. And he's not going to do it again. Okay, guys?
Was
Not
that
gonna
the AI? Was that the AI generated apology?
Bro, I know. Yeah, sometimes you can tell it's a statement because I ain't never seen people talk like this.
Right.
What did you guys think of the suspension and Ja's apology?
Go ahead, Mike.
Get him.
Well, honestly, for Adam Silver, this is something you can definitely put into an algorithm, right? And say, all right, what would be the perfect amount of time to suspend him to where the people that are mad about it will be like, yeah, that's enough. And then the people that aren't mad about it and want him to play will be like, okay, that's the perfect amount of time. So that was like the sweet spot. 25 games, that's a sweet spot. Like your season can be saved if you go 0-25.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I don't know if you guys have seen this, but John Morant believes in his weird brain that the NBA and the media are out to get him. No, brother, it's you. It's all you. You're giving them things for the media to talk about. You're giving them a reason to be in the headlines.
Yeah.
Just stop doing that. Just don't go on Instagram Live. It's not good.
It's
Don't
not
go on
conducive
Instagram Live with the thing.
with the thing. With the
Just
glitz.
disable it. Delete
Yeah.
Instagram from his phone.
Right.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, if you're having problems like that, you should really just not be on social media at all. Yeah, you make a good point. 25 games does seem it's less than that half season that people were projecting, kind of like 41 games. And a lot of people, when they heard 41, they were like, half a season? That's a lot. Other people were like, half a season? That's a lot. That's good, you know? Some people were like, that's too much. Other people, whatever. But
David Stern would have done a whole year.
yo,
Easy.
David Stern,
I'm
definitely
with David Stern.
different, totally different punishment that it would have been.
David Stern, man.
But they do 25, and even seeing that off the bat when they announced that, I was like, oh, less than what we thought, but still, you know, somewhat substantial. You can at least say that it's done. You know, it's happening. This is like a third of the season, but you know they still get a chance to make the playoffs. Josh still comes back, makes money. The team still can sell tickets. Yeah.
If I was him, I would try to negotiate if I could pick which 25 games.
He's like, I want to sit out these ones. I want to sit out this road trip right here. Yeah, no, they said the first 25 games. But yeah, if he could definitely get that negotiated.
Them South Carolina boys, man. What's up with them South Carolina boys? First job, now we got Zion.
Guns and Buns. That's what they call them. Guns and Buns. That was the name of their AAU team.
I know, but it's hilarious. Dude, they suspended Mariah Mills' Twitter today because she was going to release the sex tapes of her and Zion.
Zion Williamson.
First of all, you can't do that, bitch.
Zion Williamson got a lady pregnant, and then another lady got mad at him because apparently she was his world. Mariah Mills. Is it Mariah?
Porn star. Yes.
Mariah Mills.
Mariah Mills.
Right.
If you're familiar with her work, you can see why Zion was sending her those Snapchats. He's like, yeah, I'm about to move you to New Orleans. Come through. What's it going to take? How much I got to pay? But yeah, she also said, you got another woman pregnant. I'm pissed off and I'm about to release all the sex tapes we made, which is revenge. What is that called?
Yes. Revenge porn.
Revenge porn.
It's super illegal. Like you really can't do that. I mean, maybe you get some censorship technology and just censor out his face.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like everyone would know. This giant, beefy shadow of a man. What the fuck is going on?
It's gonna be like Japanese hentai. They're gonna blur out all the private parts, blur out his face.
It's just her and a bunch of blacked out rectangles.
Yeah, she's
a
wild.
6'8" blur, 6'9" blur.
He's wild.
Zion and Ja were on the same AAU team.
And
just annihilating children.
Yeah, the meme said that their team was called Guns and Buns.
Because he's fat.
No, because he's smashing these buns.
Yeah, because he's one like guns, one likes buns. He likes all kinds of buns too. Yeah, you are right, Lance. He's eating buns and he's eating buns.
And he's eating buns.
See, and this is the thing. Like, I don't think too many people would like have thought like just read into like the whole situation and been invested in it. But this fool has not played basketball in almost a year, and this is what you're doing with your off time. Not trying to get better.
I wonder he has no legs.
Miss Mills also says she motivated him to get back in shape.
What shape?
Yeah, she's like, you're fat or whatever. She's wild. She was like, Pelicans, trade him.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yo, she added the Pelicans. She's like, trade him.
She added the NBA too. That is
trash.
Oh,
you don't want any of this. Also, I'm releasing our sex tape at my Twitter. At
Pelicans
this time.
PRs and shambles.
Trade him to LA, man. They deal with it all the time. Trade him to the Lakers.
Oh, I saw the Blazers. The Blazers
were a TV show.
The Blazers were going after Bam, but they were also talks about trading for a Pelican superstar not named Brandon Ingram.
I think Brandon Ingram is the only person that right now the Pelicans will not trade. I think everybody else is fair game on the Pelicans right now.
What do you guys think would be the package, the asking price for Zion Williamson? And what would you feel comfortable trading for Zion Williamson?
Like a couple second round picks and a player?
Damn.
Maybe? Like,
I'm not giving if it's like you said, if we're talking about like Portland who has a third pick, no, I'm sorry.
You wouldn't just give the third straight up for Zion?
No.
For Zion Williamson?
No. The guy
he can't even be healthy.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the court long enough.
I've seen Blazer fans say we would have to give out Nurk, this guy.
Oh, please give up
this
Nurk.
guy, the third round pick and their 20-something pick to get Zion or Bam. And it might not even be enough.
Nurk, man, I can't find the tweet, but Nurk tweeted out something ridiculous about another player, and I was just like, bro, your skill level was not that great to be.
Oh, I saw that. I forget what it is.
Who was it? Yeah, right. It was like some of these fools like are so delusional about what they do in the league. Like, bro, calm your nerves, man. Take your ass back to the bench and shut the fuck up.
On the day that I retire, people are gonna say that I changed the game.
Oh my god.
Cap.
Bro, he doesn't even play defense. The only game you're changing is the one on your PlayStation 5 or your Xbox.
Really, though?
Fuck out of here, man.
Come on.
My center shoots corner threes. Oh, wow.
I changed the game. I feel like
and then they try to compare their run to the Nuggets run and said it was better, and that's why. Bro, you were literally crying because it's always our first playoff. It's a playoff win.
More special. Gosh. What they did in Minnesota was more special than what they did in Denver.
These guys, see, and people are always saying, why do you hate that fool so much? Because he's a clown. And we're not even talking about Cat right now. That's what they're laughing because he's on my team that I cheer for in the NBA. This fool,
Pat Bev
on his podcast, bro. Hey, that man knows how to get people to listen to his podcast.
He does, though.
Come on here and say some crazy shit. Because then they asked him, "Hey, who's your best center in the league?" And Pat Bev said, "Y'all not gonna like my answer, Cat." Pat, shut the fuck up.
Right, that fool literally said he's the best player in the league. Like, dude, come on.
What? Man. This is. Yeah, definitely just did that for ratings, and we also did talk about it for a few minutes, so it worked. Congrats, Pat Bev and Cap.
Carl Towns. I'm not even calling him Carl Anthony Towns. You're just Carl Towns to
KT. Another a real basketball legend, Michael Jordan, recently sold a majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets. For $3 billion.
Yup.
That's a lot of money. I think the Clippers sold to Steve Ballmer for 2 point something. Michael Jordan just sold a stake of the Hornets for more than the Clippers sold.
Yeah, he's still a minority owner, but in 2010 he spent $275 million. And now it's worth $3 billion. So that is great investment.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Probably the only win Michael Jordan has had while coaching the Horn or being a part of the Hornets organization. So good for him. Getting out while it was still hot.
The biggest win he's had in franchise history.
I'm a Michael Jordan fan. I'll tell you, this is what he had in mind all along. You guys thought he wanted Charlotte to be good? No, he just wanted to sell it more than he bought it for.
Yeah.
So one of the greatest businessmen I know.
Oh, wow. Wow. Hey, get Michael Jordan in here to run the deficit down.
Well, my favorite clip is when he slaps the back of Malik Monk's head.
I hate how he missed the first time.
Right.
Malik Monk accidentally looked away, ducked down. Michael Jordan absolutely airballs the first slap. And then has to wait long enough to slap him again. So he has to say like two more things. And then finger slapped him. But Malik Monk didn't know.
Even the coach. I've definitely been smacked on the head by multiple coaches before for doing something stupid on the court. So that was one of my favorite clips ever.
Congrats to Michael Jordan, who is
congrats to a rich guy getting even more
ridiculously
rich.
Mo Rich.
Is he the richest if American black person?
I'm not pretty sure.
Ooh, I think there was.
Isn't
Oh,
that
the guy
Tyler
who's about to
Perry?
buy the Denver Broncos, right? He's
Yeah.
pretty rich.
I think he
Oh,
also
what
had
is
a
he own?
bid. I think he's like an investor. I think he tried to bid for the Washington team too.
Hey, shout out to J. Cole while we're on it for being a owner now in the league. He's part of that group that bought the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh,
J.
nice.
Cole?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's tight. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so dope.
Yeah, congrats,
But yeah,
Jermaine.
I wonder if he's still
Jermaine.
playing. Was it Africa he was playing? He was playing
He had a
in
couple games. Yeah,
yeah.
I saw him
He's
hit that
nice.
shot a
Yeah,
bunch of times.
he's dope.
Um, appreciate you guys being on. Before we hit shout outs, are you guys team yacht or team orca?
Orca.
Just
Definitely.
Orca all day.
Just making
Definitely.
sure. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Orcas.
Free Willy
God.
takes place in Seattle, bro. That's
I mean,
that's a defining movie for me, man. Like
you put your toy in their house. You know?
No.
You went you what did you think? They were gonna be like, bro? Yeah, sure. Just ride your shit around where my kids pass through, my homies swim around here.
you hit my girl, dog. You hit my
Right.
girl,
Hey.
dog.
Right.
That's what they're saying happened is one of the whales got hit by a boat or by some people on a boat, and she started attacking them in like revenge to get back at them, and then started teaching all the other whales how and when to do the same. So killer whales are all over the place in different parts of the world, attacking different
First off,
marine vehicles.
people are like, their patterns are different. No, they just have a reason not to do it. They didn't do it first because they were being courteous. Now y'all want to fuck with them. Now they're like, okay, well, we were quiet long enough. We've seen it all. We've seen it. Humans always want to act up, act like no one's gonna fuck with them, and then when they do, it's like, oh no, we're victims. no,
Orcas are like, you stepped on my Jordans, dog.
Right.
It's over.
Yeah. Like, fool, what did you expect them to do? Tell you, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, just keep running over our heads.
You just left a big gash in their
And
heads,
taking
just
all
bleeding
of our food
everywhere.
away, you motherfuckers.
That
Yeah.
too.
Bro, they're organizing. Oh, organizing.
Organizing.
Hey, okay.
That's a good one, bro.
Let's fucking go.
Hashtag.
Yeah,
Hashtag.
somewhere in heaven right now, Free Willy and Shamu are like, yeah.
Shout out
Michael
Shamu.
Jackson singing with them. Hold
Right.
me.
Shout out
That's-
to Shamu. Golly, SeaWorld.
Right. They should
Yeah,
start.
those orcas are fucked up. They be eating people. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Bro, growing up in Carson, we went to SeaWorld maybe once every year or two. We get like the little foam whale hats. We'd go into the splash zone. The whale would come and splash water on everybody. It was really nice until I watched with Blackfish. I watched like videos on captured animals and how they were training up and they like poke and prod them. But Sammy found a picture of me at SeaWorld and as a kid, and she won't stop fucking talking about how a piece of shit I am.
for contributing to.
She'll show Nora. Oh, Nora, you like sea animals? Is it because your dad went to a bunch of endangered animals and laughed at them with his family? Is that why?
Yeah, everyone was doing it. It was cool.
Yeah, bro. I was like,
Hey,
I thought I
Shamu
was
liked it.
learning and being a friend to the environment. Well,
see, you can see Shamu like that. She was splashing me. No, Shamu was trying to get out and eat you.
yeah, Shamu was running away from the electric prod.
Right.
Man, I'm sorry.
There's is it Disney? I think it's on Disney or Netflix, but they have a documentary of how they like catfish tuna. But there's a little village in Japan where you're not allowed to, like, the authorities that won't let you film like in the water, but they literally, like, they'll go out, fish, kill dolphins, and like if it's not a dolphin, they like they'll throw it back into the water. Same thing with the orcas. I'll try to get the name of the documentary. It's crazy. they're like anytime you see a tuna can that says like dolphin free tuna, not true. It's not true.
It's dolphin free because they peeled the dead dolphins
Right.
out of the net and
It
threw
was
them.
like it's not true. Like any can tuna that you eat is like there's some dolphins will probably hurt. That's crazy.
Oh man, so much tuna in my pantry, and now I have to think about the dead dolphins. Sorry.
They're
Okay.
like, see, Shamu and dead dolphins with tuna.
So, yeah, let's do shout outs. Mike, you got any shout outs for this week?
Yeah, shout out to my cousin Max. He just had his second son today.
Hey,
Hey,
Little nephew Frank. Shout out to him.
Frank.
Little baby.
fire.
Yeah, man. Raising up the next generation.
Let's go.
And shout out to the homie Travis Thompson album dropping Friday with my dog on the cover. Check it out. He's been dropping some singles. Pretty dope.
What's the album called?
It's called Wolves and White Tees.
Let's go. Travis Thompson, Wolves in White Tees.
Yep.
Dropping this Friday,
He has
June 23rd.
One song he came out with. It's called Happiness. It was like a single that dropped. And then he did another song with Eric the Architect from Flatbush Zombies called What If. And then tomorrow, I believe he's dropping a song that he did with Logic. So
Okay.
he's doing it. He's doing it.
Bobby Tarantino in here.
Hey.
Travis Thompson. Travis Thompson is Macklemore. Would you say Macklemore's protege, or they were?
Yeah,
just...
kind of. Macklemore like had this program for teens to come and learn the trade. It's like an art program, and yeah, Travis was a part of that. So,
damn. Okay.
Putting on for Seattle rap.
Get it.
And it's not like gang banging and shit. It's like Forrest was saying, like positive, uplifting, like Cepha's music, like we were talking about. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Oh yeah,
that's dope.
So,
Travis Thompson, Wolves in White Tees. Forrest, any shout outs?
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to my 11-year-old giant of a nephew, Leonidas Valfucci. I call him Valfucci. He's getting an award tomorrow for school. Man, so my parents are hyped about it. They're gonna go check him out with my little sister Adela and her my brother-in-law Ali Valfucci. My nephew Leonidas plays for the Benson Bruins, and they just got back from Vegas not too long ago, football. And he was named to the All-Star team from that tournament, and then he was put on a list. I forgot what Washington.
Didn't they win the national championship
for Benson Bruins? Yeah, so he just joined this year. Yeah,
okay.
So he just joined this year. He's only 11, but their team's killing, and he was just put on a watch list. I don't know what Washington watch list is, but for up and coming 11 to 14-year-olds. My man is big, to say the least. 11 years old. He's a good. I want to say he's like 5'8", 5'9".
Golly,
man, he's big. I don't know. I'm not gonna guess his weight, but he's a big kid. He plays tackle, guard, whatever you need on the line. He's a fullback, plays D-line, loves the football, loves being a kid. But shout out to you, Leo, man, getting an award from school. That's also big, man. Just you guys are playing ball. Just remember, if you're not playing professionally, school and football go together. School and football. You can't play football without doing school. So keep that in mind, guys. Yeah. Shout outs also to my brother, man, Junior Luvu, and his wife, Victoria, for having me and Noah come out this past Sunday. Got to see that show with them. So fun, Also shout out to the Usos, Jelani Tavai, who will be playing for the Patriots this year. He had a good season last year, so good luck to him this season. And shout out to you guys again, man. I know we talk sometimes during the week, or we're all cutting up inside our chat, but it's always good to come on here and see you guys on a Monday. And then now it's a Tuesday because we were all busy yesterday, which is a good thing, So Yeah, man.
I got
Nice.
another one. I know I shout out my sister fucking every week, but
Hey,
shout out
you
to my
got to,
sister
man.
Katie.
Whack,
Hell
whack.
yeah.
Committed to Oregon. Friday, she's playing in that Doug Baldwin basketball
dope.
game.
Yeah.
And I forgot who's all in it. We got like Sue Bird,
Nice.
Doug Baldwin, Cameron Brink from Stanford.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Richard Sherman, Marshawn Lynch, Isaiah Thomas, Jamal Crawford, Jewel
let's
Lloyd.
go.
And
That's
my
dope.
sister gets to play with them. I'm
Right,
like,
with
That's
them.
oh
dope.
my god, this is
Yeah,
crazy.
That's big. And it gives me a reason to watch Oregon women's basketball since Taino Paopao had transferred to South Carolina,
Yeah.
who's gonna win the championship this year. Sorry guys. But again, to have another poly girl on the women's basketball team, Oregon is dope, man, because they're close enough for us to go watch, and
they come up to
personal
Portland.
connection between Mike. Yeah, the personal connection with Mike now. That's dope, man. We get to see her play out there. I love seeing these poly girls play ball because they can play ball.
They can hoop, bro.
Yeah. They got what's her name? Lisa
At Utah?
P at Utah. Lisa P at Utah. Again, we just talked about Tahina transferring to South Carolina. There's a couple of girls, I think, at Stanford. There's a Tongan girl at LSU.
Oh shit.
Last year?
I think she's playing again this year.
So what, she got a chip?
She got she got
a ring.
Yeah,
Yep.
she got a ring. And
Go,
she was pretty dope. She wasn't one of those girls that's sitting at the end of the bench. She contributed. So that's dope to see. Yeah, and shout out to those who are playing at the University of Arizona. If you guys don't know, Caleb Boswell was a 5-star coming out of high school. He plays guard at Arizona. This kid, he's dope. Check him out if you can. Caleb Boswell, University of Arizona. Yeah, he's a lot of guys transferred out of the backcourt, so I think he's got a chance to actually start this year. He was a big part of the rotation last year, so yeah, man. Katie being at Oregon's dope. Watching these poly kids get out to places that we could never have gotten to. It's great to see. It's great to see, man. And anytime we see your sister out there, man, she's got fans. Let her know that she's got fans, man.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Dope.
Appreciate the love, guys. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Got any shout outs, Lance?
Excited to see what Katie does. And yeah, definitely has our support. She has fans right here. Yeah, a couple of different shout outs. First things first, rest in peace to Uncle Phil. And dope dads out there. Shout out to dope dads, good dads that, care for their kids. And
that includes you, man. Yeah.
Thank you. Dads out there taking care of their kids, their families. Shout out to y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. Also, shout out to Talia Thompson of Studio 415 Productions. They were looking for another production assistant for the all poly football camp just last week. I don't know if you guys saw that. That's a dope opportunity, like for someone to just be able to hop on and be in that camp around all those
even
ballers.
If that's not your field, even if that's not your field that you want to get into, that's still a dope opportunity.
Yeah, and then with the Studio 415 Productions and all the camera crew, all the videographers they have, photographers they have, and then also in that NFL setting, that football setting, I was about to go freaking throw my head in there. I was like, I will carry all the shit around. Come on, I know how to
carry the boomstick.
Shout out to them for having that opportunity for a production assistant and for doing that all poly football camp. There's a football movie about Islanders. I forget exactly what it's called. I'll send you guys the link, but that's a project that they're working on. Talia Thompson, Studio 415. Really excited to see that. I think it's Pacific Roots.
Yeah, it dropped. I think at the last independent film festival they had in Utah. It was pretty big. They had that. I think it was it Polynesian Music on Instagram that showed the different films that had dropped. So that's dope.
Okay, yeah, I definitely need to see that. That's gonna be dope. They had like Jess Sapolu, Troy, a bunch of Talano, Funga, a bunch of old legend superstars and current ones. Shout out to the Polyticket podcast. They just dropped episode 37. Steph and Marcus, make sure to listen to that. It's got a lot of really good conversations in it. about growing up in American Samoa during the time of the music video, like the golden age of hip hop in Samoa. Talk about plastic Samoans versus like locals, and how we're trying to
Samoan
get away
City.
from that. Yo,
That's
and how people's Samoanicity is invalidated by others who feel they're not real Samoans. Samoan City. That
that's.
shit
I was
was.
waiting. He said, "Man, I'm a fob." I thought he was gonna say that he identifies with like the
Yeah,
local
that's
that fool
me
said.
too.
Yeah,
Same.
and then he said, "I solely read that as Someone City."
I read this shit 10 times this week.
Check them out, guys, if you
Man,
haven't.
yeah.
Politicking podcast.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That's
also
hilarious.
new music dropping from them this Friday, June 23rd. Right Place, Right Time by Oh Hello Marcus and Cepha M.
Yep, that's gonna be
They,
the song that sets the summer on fire.
bro, they've been
Definitely.
teasing that. I feel like it's just like a really good vibe. I know I'm gonna be smoking a lot to that this summer. And finally, shout out to brother Eri and Levasa Island Apparel. Bro, shout out Mike
Amen.
over here with the
Yeah.
all around sweater, got the salsa on it.
Sasa Levasa.
I'm talking to Eri. He's definitely going to be on the road this summer. Check in with them, www.levasaislandapparel.com. Also follow him on Instagram at le_vasa, just to see all the things that they're doing and where they're going to be. You got to catch them.
Yeah.
I know they're going to be up here in Vancouver.
Yeah, for the 4 days of Aloha.
And then they're also going to be in Auburn for Polyfest in August. So they're coming up our way. They're coming up.
A testament to just the quality and the designs of the brand is I can never keep whatever Eri says if I get from Eri, it never stays in my possession because
people are like, "Let me get that."
I said, like,
nice.
"Hey, you have a sweater, come on?" And I always know because, bro, it's hot outside, and I always question like, "Why do you want a sweater?" But like, let me pick it. No. I got one that I wanted to wear like real quick.
Oh wow!
Right, and it's like, of course,
you still got that sweater I want.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know what to get you for Christmas.
Right, and they pick up over like the $90 Nike sweaters in my closet or anything like that. They're like, "No, we want that one." I was like, "You don't want the expensive one?" No. You want like, all right, all right.
I'm gonna have to order another one of these.
Right, it's like, so I'm not getting that back. Okay, I understand.
Make sure to hit them up, levasaislandapparel.com or on Instagram. Sorry, what did you say?
Hey, shout out to Bo too, because Bo's a big part of that team.
Shout out to Va.
Love you, man.
Big bro Va.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And Chemo.
Right.
The hot
got a
husky.
picture of him and Chemo just sitting in the chair, chilling. That's a dope picture.
105 degrees.
Right.
Put me in the air condition. Yeah. All right. That is our episode. Make sure if you have any comments, questions, concerns, complaints, bitch stripes, any of that, hit us up. Make sure to email us ballinesian@gmail.com or send us a message on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Ballinesian. Thanks for listening. That is our episode for this week. For Mike Fiso, Forrest Dodolau, I am Lance Falitongo. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay ballin', love and light. Peace.
You.
Yeah. Tuesday.